We are live from Mariel Talks Pop. My name is Mariel Basori, and I'm here with a wonderful actress, singer, producer, TV host, and whatnot. The wonderful Becky Baeling.
Hey,
Welcome.
thank you. Hi, Marielle. Good to see you.
Good to see you. It is so nice to meet you. To finally have you here on my show. Um,
Well, thank
I've been
you.
I've been writing to you for years, and we didn't actually get a chance to match our times, and it finally happened. So
Yes.
thank you
Well,
so
thank
much.
you for being a fan of the late '90s, early 2000s music. We appreciate it, all of us.
No, it's great. It's great. I mean, you have only one album in your career, which is sad for us fans.
It's sad for me too. It was never supposed to be a one-off. It's just sort of life distracted, and every time I would go to record more music, it would just be a single here, a single there for my own kind of person. And this was really before, we go into now the world of TikTok and Instagram, et cetera, and YouTube. This was even before that. YouTube was kind of just starting. And, people didn't really back then release just one song. It was really albums. And
Hmm.
and having come from a major label, I was still accustomed to, well, I'll wait till I have somebody releasing it in a full album. And then life got in the way, Mariel, of more music.
I know, I get it. And then we have kids and we get married and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's crazy how many things can happen in all these years. But I mean, it is a pleasure to have you to reminisce about this amazing era of Y2K.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It was
I
such a special era of music.
I know, and I'm so glad that I got to live it when I was in my teenage years. It was great. I have great memories from that time, and um, I know that you began singing since you were very little, right?
Yes, that's right. Started singing when I was, gosh, like 5 or 6, doing local community theater musicals. And then that led to doing some professional shows in Michigan. And then I was lucky enough to get a job actually periodically singing with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra and narrating events for them, and got to do an opera called The Selfish Giant with them. And yeah, so my whole life, definitely out of the womb singing. Music was a big part of my life. Disco. I was born in 77, and
Ah,
in the late 70s, it's online. But my parents were really into like the Bee Gees and Donna Summer, and we always had records on. I loved my parents' record collection. So I was, yeah, in a very musical household for sure.
oh wow! And how is it that you got your record deal?
Oh, that is a very fun story. I
Okay.
first of all, I went to school for musical theater, and I'd say my first whisperings and hints of wanting to write songs and wanting to be a recording artist began in a production class that we had, and we had to come up with a performance. And most people did, Cats on Broadway or interactive Shakespeare or a theater piece. And I did Becky and Her Boys on the beaches of Ibiza, and it was a big club performance that I fake produced for
Okay.
myself. So that was sort of the inkling. And then I did a lot of journaling, and I would write songs here and there just for myself. But when I moved to New York, I really moved there for musical theater, and I was super focused on that. And I had been there just about 3 months, and my agent said, David Massey and Tommy Mottola over at Epic Sony Records are putting together a girl group. Would you ever want to go over an audition? And I said, hell no, no. I don't want to be a part of a girl group. I love them, but I don't think that that would be my vibe, my jam. And of course, Britney Spears is coming out at this time, and Christina Aguilera. And I sort of thought, if I'm going to do it, I would like to do a solo album. And so I said no. And I said I wouldn't go to the audition. And then, you ready for it? Then
Yeah.
I was walking down the street. I believe it was 38th Street. And there was a huge line of girls wrapped around. And I didn't even know that that was where the audition was happening. I just asked the girls, I said, what is going on here? And they said, oh, Epic Sony is auditioning for this girl group. And I was like, I was supposed to audition for this today, but I skipped
Uh-huh.
it. And so I walked to the front of the line and I was like, I was supposed to have an appointment at 1. Now I think it was like 2:30. It was way past my audition. And I said, but I didn't realize this was going to be such a big event. Could I still come in? And they said yes. And I got in right away. And I sang for David Massey. Tommy Mottola was not there. David Massey, and I believe an A&R guy. My ultimately became my A&R guy. Lee Chestnut and a couple other people were in the room. Polly Anthony might have been. And these incredible legends in the recording industry now, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, could you sing something? I sang, I think I sang a little bit of Olivia Newton-John, Have to
Mm-hmm.
Believe We Are Magic. And then they said
Uh-huh.
original songs. And at the time I didn't. So I said yes. And I sang my friend, and she knows this. She knows I claimed it as my own at the time. I sang a song that my friend Sarah Mann wrote that was
Uh-huh.
on an album she had released independently. And they were like, we love it. We'll talk to you more soon. And so I thought, oh, I'm being considered for this girl group. And I got a call about a week later, and David Massey asked me to come in. I met Polly Anthony. I met this A&R guy who became my dear friend and A&R guy, Lee Chestnut. And they said, hey, we don't want you in the girl group. We've got some disco songs that Donna Summer's not into doing. Do you want to have a listen? Do you think you could write some songs similar to this? Do some of these songs? And I said, yeah, absolutely, I could.
Wow.
And that was it.
Do you remember what was the girl group?
Yeah. No, I don't. But I bet if I go back into my journals and even I have some old AOL emails, I bet you I could piece together what it is. And I bet we could too. If we find out what girl group came out on Epic Sony under David Massey between 2000, that audition was actually in 2000,
Mm-hmm.
2000 and 2003, which is when my album ultimately came out. I bet we could figure it out.
There were many girl groups back in the day. Epic.
Epic.
Wasn't PYT?
PYT was one, yes. I wonder if it was. I don't even know because they only just called it Sony Epic Girl Group, right? And
Yeah.
then whatever it became, I never was a part of, so I don't even know. And I was so excited to be doing an album. And then there was drama in all of that because I, of course, ultimately released on Universal Records. But what happened is we went to Sweden to start recording my album.
Wow.
And I recorded one of my singles, which was If You Love Me over there. And we got back, and I had a couple other songs that I was starting to do with Tony Moran. And then they were talking about having Anastasia do the song that I had just recorded in Sweden. And I was like, well, no, that's going to go on my album. That's going to be my first single. And so there was just some disgruntlement and disagreement a little bit. But Lee Chestnut also at the time was thinking about leaving and going with his dear friend Monty Lipman over at Republic Universal Records. And so we kind of had a powwow, and he said, I feel like we'll be more supported over there. I think, they're going to have this girl group coming out. They've got other things they're really focused on. Why don't you come with me? And at the time, it was just sort of a demo album deal that I had with Epic Sony. So we went over to Universal, and that's when I signed my full
Okay.
album deal with Lee Chestnut, with Monty Lipman. Doug Morris was one of the people in the room there. It was great. I have nothing but respect for everybody that worked on my album and with me. I had an incredible experience. We were going to do a second album, and then we creatively disagreed, and I then started working with a guy named Orlando Puerta, who has passed away, but he was at Warner Brother Records, and so I jumped ship over to Warner Brothers, and then I ended up hosting music shows instead.
Oh, it happens. But your album came
Yeah.
out in 2003.
Yes.
Beckstasy.
Yes.
Did you choose the name?
No, it sort of chose me. Once we started recording these songs for the album in 2000, really, 2001 was really when we really dove in. I was playing a lot of the clubs around New York, especially a lot of the gay clubs, Splash, XL, Roxy, all the ones that were there in the early 2000s. And I had big shows like balloon animals that I'd throw into the audience and colorful outfits and incredible sexy dancers. And so some guy that was announcing me, I believe it was at Splash, said, "It's time for your hit of Bextasy. She's here to give you, the energy for the evening," and
Uh-huh.
that thing. And so my DJ Tony Moran, or my producer and DJ who did a lot of remixing for me, he was like, you gotta be Bextasy," and so
It,
that's how it
it
happened.
fit perfectly. It fitted perfectly. I thought you chose but it's a great story.
Sort of chose me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. And well, you got a number one with
I did.
Getaway,
I did.
my
Yes, that
favorite
was.
song, by
Thank
the way.
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
I
Um,
love that song. Why? This is a question I bet all the fans have been asking. Why was there not a music video?
I agree. And it is my probably to date my biggest regret of life. I, as creatively, we went to Miami. That song really hit there first. We did a huge show. We filmed it. And it was meant to be, we were going to use a lot of that footage for a video. And I went back to Universal and they were like, well, let's wait, let's make sure it gets to number one. Then it got to number one. I said, well, I've still got this footage. And then they said, well, I think it's a little pedantic. We can do better. Let's get in a studio. And we started to do some green screen work just to play around and see what the vibe was, what we wanted it to be about.
Uh-huh.
And I think they threw a little bit of money at that sort of demo that we did. And then we went on to promoting the next single and we never got back to it. And what I think label wise, they were waiting for it to hit more mainstream. It was on the radio and it was doing all right in pocket areas like San Francisco, New York, Miami, but it had not really hit the mainstream chart. It stayed on the dance club chart.
Uh-huh.
And I think that made them wary to throw a lot of money at a video. And that's when I should have just said, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And especially if I had been doing the album nowadays, of course you would have done it by yourself because everybody can pick up their phone and do it by themselves, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I got so consumed in crafting and producing my club tour,
Yeah.
that I never got around to it. And I think I also rested on my laurels a bit and thought, well, they're going to do it. They're going to do it eventually. We're going to do an album. We'll do an album for a video. We'll
Yeah.
do a video for the club. Like they won't not do a video. And then it never happened.
Oh, what a shame.
I know. And I still, when I started producing more and doing things, I was like, I should just go back and do a video for one of my songs.
You
But
should.
then I always think, oh my gosh, who wants to see me just strutting around doing that now? Okay.
I would. I would. I definitely would. I mean, I remember when YouTube came out, I was like, let's search if there's a Becky Baeling video, and there's not a lot of material
I know.
on YouTube from your music career. It would be great if you could upload more live shows and stuff,
Yes.
because there's only like one show that you did, God knows where, performing Getaway, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've definitely got loads of footage from clubs, and the big one where I literally had like 3 cameramen at Maze, which was in Miami, a club in Miami. Somewhere in my attic is that footage. So
Oh,
I should get it out and piecemeal it and put it up. Even just for myself, because it was fun. It was a really fun show that we had put together. But you're right. I mean, now you're right. I should just grab my phone and do like, I've been watching you. Do you feel it too? And like do a video, right?
it would be great. It would be great. I mean, it's never too late.
I know. I agree. Maybe this will be my inspiration to make this
Yeah.
happen.
And
I'm
now it's easier with a lot of, AI material.
yeah,
You can do something very, very cool.
yes, agreed, agreed.
And you should wear your yellow shorts, the ones you were
I
using when
Maria,
you took over.
I still have them.
Oh my god!
Like the one I think I kept from that era. And when I moved to LA, I kept those yellow shorts. My first outfit I wore at the dance music conference in Miami, where I won the best new artist. I kept that outfit, and then an outfit that Patricia Fields, who used to costume Sex in the City, gave me to perform in.
Okay, okay,
I kept
okay.
those three things.
Oh, what memories!
I know, right?
That's awesome. And what was your favorite song to perform?
You know what? Getaway was my favorite to perform, just because I loved, and now even more so with like stalking people online. But just the idea of being able to interact with the audience of like, I've been watching you, do you feel it too? And like really lock
Yeah,
eyes, kind of grab them up and stuff. So that one was really fun. Um, Uh, Diva is, of course, extravagant and fabulous to perform.
yeah.
Like songs also that really, without love, for when I just wanted to do a little bit of drama, which an artist named Sun covered later, and she went to number one covering that song.
Yeah.
Um, the ones also that I wrote with my then boyfriend, I don't know, not air quotes because he was my boyfriend then, All Over Me and Supernova Light, which, by the way, little known fact, somebody at Universal spelled I wrote it and it was Supernova Light. That's the song spelled Super Nova
Supernova, yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
like in the sky and in space, but they wrote it in the album and it always bothers me. They wrote SUPA and
Supernova.
yeah, I know. I'm like, what is that?
I know. I checked it yesterday. I was listening to your album again yesterday, and I figured that out. I never checked that. I was like, why is it Supernova?
No idea. And I thought, well, people must think I was like doing a play on the word, and it was about, something other than a space, the explosion, star explosion, but it literally is spelled wrong.
But it's great that you got to write your own songs. Some of them. I mean, that's
Some of
awesome
them.
because a lot of artists don't get the opportunity to
Yes.
uh,
And I was
sing
a
their own songs.
That's right. And I was a newer songwriter, so I wasn't offended when not like I mean, I threw many more songs at them to go on the album and they didn't get picked or we would decide collectively not to pick them. There were a couple that I tried to do on the next leg that I did over at Warner Brothers, but then we never released those. But yeah, I loved it. I did a lot of songs with Jason Page and Billy Stein, who are in New York and still do a lot of music. And then I actually ended up meeting one of my best friends and who's now become the godmother of my youngest son,
Uh-huh.
Leo, Cara Diaguardi, who
Oh.
subsequently went on to be a judge on American Idol. And that was
Mm-hmm.
a whole weird incestuous relationship too, because I happened to help get that interview for her at Fremantle. And anyway, so we've stayed super close in each other's lives. I count her as one of my best friends. And we literally met when my A&I guy Lee Chestnut and my producer Tony Moran said, you'd write well with Cara Diaguardi. And they were right.
She's an amazing songwriter.
She is incredible and did a lot of songs in this era of early 2000s that were very prominent on the charts.
Yeah. Which is the song that she wrote for you? Take Me Away.
We did Take It Away together, and there was a song, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to try to remember, that ended up, hold on, I'll think of it. That gosh, not Hillary Duff, Ashley Simpson ended up recording that I wanted on my album that she wrote. And people at my label didn't like it for me because they thought it wasn't dance pop enough. They thought it was a little
Uh-huh.
too forward pop. Oh,
Was it Pieces of Me?
yes, that's it. All the pieces, pieces of me. And
That's a great song.
me too. I agree. I bet I would have gotten a video if I had done that song. But
Things
yeah.
would have been so different if you have recorded that song.
I mean, maybe you never know. You never know what's going to cross over by who. It's timing, your history. I feel like Ashley already had like a pretty big because of her sister following, and
Yeah.
but years later, I interviewed her on my TV show, that's CDUSA, that I did on DirecTV,
Yeah.
and I told her that story. I was like, "You're lucky you got that song."
Oh, wow. You got to tell her that. And it would have been great because your voice kind of matches the song. You have
Yeah,
a very, very, how to say it, specific tone.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would have been great for your tone.
It's like grassy and raspy.
Raspy. Yeah. That's
Mm.
that's the word, raspy.
Yeah.
Now it's time for us to rank your album, your songs.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So from 1 to 10, being 10 the highest score. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with Supernova Light.
Okay. So it's on me to put them in a rank.
No,
Is that
like
right?
from from 1 to 10.
Okay. One being the best. Is that right? One being the best?
No, one being the
Least.
the least.
Okay.
Yes.
Supernova Light, I'm gonna put at number number 4.
Okay. Number 4, Getaway.
Getaway number 1.
Oh wow. Really?
For me, I love it. And also because it was my number 1, I still really love it the best.
But it's the least.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. Number 10's the least?
No, number 10 is the highest.
So number 10 is the best one. Is that right?
That's what. Yes.
Sorry, let me do that again. I'm going to put that. Okay, wait, let me make sure I'm doing this right then. So 10 is the best. Number 1 is the worst. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so back up. So I'm going to do Supernova Light number 6 and Getaway number 10.
Okay. I
So
snapped.
I snapped. I liked I snapped, but it was not ever my favorite. I'm probably going to put that as my least favorite. I'm going to put that as my number 1.
Okay. If you love me.
If you love me, I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that as number. Where did I put Supernova? I'm going to put that as number 7.
Okay. So without love.
Without Love, I'm going to put as number 8. I loved that song.
I know it's great. Heaven is a place on earth.
I'm going to put that as number 9 because I really, even though it's a cover, and I know I shouldn't be picking the cover up top, but I loved recording that song. I loved kind of flipping it and making it my own. It's right here, right now, like those kind of little ad libs and stuff that we did. And also having the musical theater background, that one really felt performative and like I was telling a story,
Yeah.
So, it's like, and the sound of kids on the street outside. It's like really storytelling. So yeah, number 9.
Yeah. Okay. And yours is my favorite version.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Take it away.
Take It Away, which I did do with Kara. And I love, but I think I'm going to put that. I'm thinking what else is coming up to make sure I'm not putting things in wrong orders. I'm going to put that. I think I'm going to put it lower. So I'm going to put it at number 2. Sorry, Kara.
Okay. All over me.
All Over Me, I'm going to do number 5.
Okay.
I loved that song. And I have the demo version that's even more disco than where it went. And it's so sexy and I love it. Anyway.
I love that song. Here comes one of my favorites, which is Corrupt.
Oh, I do love Corrupt. I was like, there's something else. I'll have to, the next highest placement that's still open is number 6. So I'll put it there.
Okay.
Yeah. And Carissa Noel is the woman that wrote that song. And she is so brilliant and such a talented singer and songwriter. Yeah, I don't know where she is in the world now, but I love that song.
It's amazing. I don't know why how many times I have played that song, but it always puts me in a very good mood, and it should have been a single in my opinion.
I agree. I totally agree.
And finally, Diva.
Diva. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to put it at 8. Oh no, no, not 8. I'm gonna have to put it as number, which is the one I haven't picked yet. 4.
Number 4, it's left.
There's 4. Um, I'm tossed because I could easily swap Without Love with Diva and put that higher. But Without Love was so meaningful to me because when I was singing it, it was like if I ever couldn't be, and I still perform, not at that level that I was doing, but I always kind of took it of like if I couldn't be with my fans and with the people and in the clubs and like doing music in general, I would be devastated. And so I just really, that song clicked with me a lot, as did Diva, but there you have it. I think that's where they all land.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great ranking.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Very, very you.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's great. And which other artists were performing with you? Who was
Oh,
on tour with you?
yes, it's so funny. I was just telling somebody this and they were like, "What?" That the Emma Jane girl that was on now subsequently Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erica Jane.
Erica Jane. Yeah. Uh-huh.
She was a good friend of Orlando Puertas as well. And she was kind of just coming out with some dance songs then, or maybe she had been out, but she and I frequently would be together at different club events. The next one was not obviously in her prime because she was huge in the 80s, but doing the dance circuit was Debbie Gibson. I would
Yeah.
run into her at a lot of gay pride parades and things. Who else was around then with me? Willa Ford.
Oh, I
Um,
love her.
yeah, we subsequently became friends again when our kids went to preschool together.
Uh, wow.
Not as sexy as when we were playing the gay clubs. Who else? Who else was I often with? Oh my gosh. Was it Martha Washington would do some gigs with me? Trying to remember. There was a beautiful woman who used to do like some soul dance club pop with me. That Bill Fryer and Stephen Ford, which are names back in the day that used to book these gigs. She would do a lot. I gotta remember her name. I'm gonna look it up. And then who else? Who was more popular that kind of crossed over? Well, Anastasia.
Um,
Um, and I ran into her actually in New York once it was right after Michael Jackson's kid, right before 9/11, weirdly, but she had performed at the sort of after party.
uh-huh.
And I was like, you may not know me, but we've done tons of gigs together, but we sort of miss each other in our dressing rooms. And so she was around during that
Uh-huh.
time. Um, yeah, I think those are some of the more common names. And then a lot of DJs I would be on the bill with, like Dave Day, of course
Yeah.
DJ Moran. Um, who else? People in New York. Paul Oakenfold was at one of the gigs once.
Oh,
Also,
wow.
somebody big. I headlined the White Party once with, and maybe it was Anastasia who did it with me. My mind is a blur, but yeah. Anyway,
Wow, you did tour with a lot of great artists.
yeah, definitely got to piggyback and be at venues, I would say. My main like club tour was sort of just me and whoever else was on the bill for those events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh, great memories,
so
Becky.
oh my gosh, incredible memories. And I used to love doing the radio shows. Um, that was really the era. I think it's different now, but that was the era where you really had to hustle and like get in to meet all the programmers and sing on the interviews and go out and do the street shows. And it was a hustle, let me tell you. It was
Yeah.
a hustle. And I look at Lady Gaga, who I interviewed for Billboard. Actually, they were doing the Billboard music awards in Miami years later, like maybe 2006 or seven. And I got to interview her when she was a baby and just coming up. And I
Uh-huh.
looked at her hustle and what she did to go from really where I was, like the dance club scene, to, full goddess, ultra explosive world leader domination.
Yeah.
And it was tons and tons of hours of work and choreography and booking and hustle. And yeah, so it's incredible.
Yeah, it's an endless work.
Yes. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So just for our fans here watching, just to know, there were plans for a second album.
Yes, there were plans for a second album. Hold on, I'm taking a sip of water. First with Universal, with my A&R guy Lee Chestnut, and then that sort of dissolved, and Orlando Puerta and I were going to be doing an album with Warner Brothers, and it was going to be sort of this still in the dance world, but it was sort of like Shirley Bassey remixes. We were going to have a little old school flair in it,
Uh-huh.
like the Propeller Heads sort of vibe. And I bet I can sift through and find some of the demos that we did for that, and I could
Great.
get them to you.
Would be great to listen to.
There were plans, and then it really that took me right into. I did I did a song on Fox for this summer Music Mania with Brian McKnight, and that led me to getting jobs on TV as an actress and as a TV host, and then I sort of never really got back to the music.
But you wish you could now.
Well, yes, I do. And I always say, to Dave Auday or to anybody, I'm like, listen, if you've got some songs, I'm available. Let's write, let's do it. So hopefully now that my kids are older and I'm got a career producing, but it's not all consuming. I've got time. I can convince some DJ out there to collab with me and produce. This is me not subtly telling somebody to call me.
It would be great to listen to more music now. And with these new genres, would you like to stay in the dance area or move into another genre?
No, I think I would still be in the dance pop world. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I look at Lady Gaga, I look at what Chapel Roan's doing, which is obviously very much more straight up bubblegum pop, but I think all of their songs are living in the club world too, big time.
Yeah.
So I think just in that vein, for sure. I was so lucky to have, I don't know if you know this, but in some of the shows I produced out here, the theater shows, I had Ariana Grande play a lead role in one of my shows, and Sabrina Carpenter played a lead role in one of my
Yeah.
shows. And I look at the trajectory of their music and career, and it's so ridiculously impressive. But again, all their music is in the clubs as well, obviously. But yeah, straight up pop dance club music would be where I'd live again.
Okay. So do you like nowadays music? Don't you think it has changed so much? I mean, music always changes. Don't you think it's over sexualized sometimes?
Certainly, I do. I also think a lot of the fun is not in it. Like, I think there's so much effort to be, cerebral and clever in a way that is, great and wonderful in its own. But I feel like in our day, the music was a little more fun and just like from your soul and not overthought.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things people are trying to guess what people are going to like and guess what's going to be the next big vibe. Yeah, I think people have just lost the element of fun and joy of music in a lot of it.
Sometimes I think that people are doing music just to do something, but not to express something in particular. Just like, oh, I want to sing something, but just to have views or more listeners or whatever, but not as back in the day when it was harder for you to achieve more views, to achieve a huge fan base.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's easier with social media and stuff.
Oh my gosh, I always look back and I'm like, if I could have done my album, and especially at my first, the big TV show that I did where I was interviewing, everybody and their brother, if I had had social, like YouTube, not YouTube, MySpace came out like at the tail end of that music show that I did.
Yeah,
And I'm like, if I had had it during my music career, it would have been a whole different, I think I would have done many more albums because
yeah,
yeah, it was so much easier to access your fan base and your crowd. And I was literally trucking along from Los Angeles to New York doing shows to garner listens, you know,
hmm hmm
to buy my CD in a store.
yeah. Back then, you had to work more to get into a huge fan base and stuff. Nowadays, it's easier, but I think nowadays music is also very disposable
Yeah, yeah.
with
I
some artists. Some
Yeah,
are.
some are for sure. Some are for sure. Um Yeah, you don't you don't have as many people coming along and going to be the mainstay that like even like Justin Timberlake, or you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of who was in our world, or even Christina Aguilera, et cetera, like the height of the massivity of their fame, truly. Um, yeah, not as much. It's a little more throwaway. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about your image back then? Were you comfortable with being that sexy? I mean, because you were really, really sexy, Becky. You're
I know.
still sexy.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
but
No, but it's funny when you were saying it's over sexualized now. I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to comment on that because I sort of went there.
no, no, no. But I meant the lyrics. Sometimes it's over sexualized, like too
Yes,
explicit. That's what I meant.
yes.
So no, no, no. I mean, your image back then. Were you comfortable with that? Did you chose what you were gonna choose? What you were gonna wear, or
Yeah, yeah, or lack of wearing. It was or choose not to wear. It was a little bit of both, truthfully. Maybe like a trifecta. I was certainly at an age in my early 20s where I was coming into my own sexuality and like discovering that I might be attractive to anybody because
yeah,
you kind of go through that awkward end of high school, early college phase where you're like, well, certainly for me, I was always so career focused and into my music, and didn't really like look to relationships for validation. I was
uh-huh.
looking to, like, the stage. And then you kind of start to realize like, oh, maybe I am cute, or maybe I could be cute if I do this to my makeup or whatever. And I was in my own development of like feeling sexy. And I
Uh-huh.
think I wanted to show that. And then secondly, and I also, again, I not to harken back, and my husband's gonna be like, stop talking about your ex-boyfriend. But my boyfriend at the time was really a free spirit, and he was like, you don't have to be wearing your baggy shirts, like you could to wear, you can wear a dress, it's okay to be sexy. And I was like, oh, okay. So that helped.
Uh-huh.
And then I think the label a little bit was like not pushing me, to say, would you be comfortable to do Stuff magazine or to be topless in your pictures or whatever? But they were certainly not saying I couldn't do it or shouldn't do it. They were certainly like, sure, if that's what you want to do, we support that.
Oh, okay.
you
Uh-huh.
know, um, I think we now and then had talks about, well, there'd be jokes of like, well, look at Britney Spears and what she's doing. And I was actually managed for a minute by Larry Rudolph, who managed her
Yes.
too. And so I think I looked at those images that were already happening in the world of pop. And unlike Lady Gaga, who was like, I don't care about being sexy, I'm going to wear this crazy. I mean, she does because she's being sexy, but she's wearing, things that are also unattractive to be a spectacle. I
Yes.
do wish I would have leaned a little more into, because I had that in my performances sometimes. But I do wish image wise I might have leaned into that more. But I think I was a little bit lacking the confidence, and I was looking at the Britney Spears and thought, oh, I need to compete with that. So I'm going to do those kind of looks. And
Yeah.
then third, I think, I think that I think third is what I'm saying actually, is that what was going on then in the pop world was that image. So me,
Yeah.
label, and what was actually happening.
Okay, okay. But you were happy with that.
There was a time when I was very, um, how do I say this, mentoring a lot of young women who were
Uh-huh.
artists, or just women in my life that were like daughters of friends or whatever. And that was always sort of a point of contention where they'd be like, Becky is accomplished producer and this and that, and don't look at her album pictures.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So there were, but I've never ever felt bad about doing like even my nude picture that I did and stuff, which doesn't show anything. I don't know. I just was feeling. I feel like I'm going to quote Diva. I was feeling myself, and it was where I was at in my life, and so I was very explosive of feeling, emotive with who I was at that time. So
Yeah.
I think it represented who I was. I will say I liked better. There was an album cover that was it ended up being the single cover for Getaway, we painted my body with like
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before it was painted, there was a black and white of it that was just sort of me paint floating in space. And I remember Monty Lipman had that up in his office for a bit, like on a that was like rotating of pictures. And I was like, I want that to be my album cover. I want that to be my album cover. And then like too much time went by and sort of my vibe changed. And so then we did the second shoot, which became my album cover. But
Uh-huh.
I always liked those first pictures for my album cover. Not no offense to Jimmy Brent who did my second pictures. I love him too, but I don't know. The other ones sort of were more ethereal and spacey, and the next ones became a little more like cardboard cutter 2003 sexy.
Yeah. I love the Getaway cover. You're right. Yeah.
That was where like I really wanted this outer space, like out of human experience images, and we
Yeah.
did have those first. And I really don't even know how the art direction they were kind of just like, well, those are old now, let's do a new photo shoot, and then that became the album. So I
Yeah.
guess to answer your question, there was a little bit of like, how did we land there? I wish we would have used the other ones, but yeah,
Yeah.
the image,
Okay.
that's it.
But the important thing is that you feel comfortable with it, because I've heard some other artists saying that I wasn't comfortable wearing this or that, or
Oh
whatever.
no,
So
I see. Now I will say I was always in control of what was. I did not have any of the like. I don't. There's a lot of girls that had bad experiences during those days where they felt controlled by the label.
yeah.
And I feel like Natasha Bedingfield. Oh no, um, uh, what's her name? Sarah Bareilles. Wrote her song sort of
I
about
love her.
love
Yes.
you. I'm not going to write you a love song, right? Is about saying, screw you, label, I'm going to do what I want. So I think a lot of women did have that experience and they stood up for themselves, or they didn't and became sort of a victim to all that. But I was Lee Chestnut, who I love as a brother, was my A&R guy. And I've stayed very close also with Monty Lipman, who was the president of the label at the time, or still is an owner of the label. But they both gave me enough rope to hang myself. Like they let me be an executive producer on the album. They let me call a lot of the shots. And probably out of that, that's where we didn't get to make the, not that I'm blaming myself, but like the video or like the art direction ultimately, was me also trying to be a part of it. And sometimes I bet the decisions got blurred because I was young and inexperienced at doing
Yeah.
it. But they were very lovely to let me. So any of those decisions made, I was in the room making them.
No, but that's great. Like I told you, I mean, I have interviewed other artists saying I have no control. They told me to do this and that and that, and that's about it. And I had no
No,
control. But
no,
that's great that you were able to.
I think, again, just like other decisions and other things that I've produced over the years now, things happen fast, or there's a matter of like a deadline and then you get it out and you're like, well, that wasn't as good as it could have been. I think there's sort of a little bit of, darn it, we maybe didn't really represent exactly what the album was in those images, but they're cute and we had a deadline and they went out. So, but I was in the room going, yeah, let's just go out with it.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was not in the room. So
Oh, well, that's great.
yeah,
And
no, I was very blessed to fall into the hands of very, competent, trusting people.
Wow. And you have also been an actress, a
Yes.
host, a producer. What else is missing, Becky?
Well, I still haven't gotten back to Broadway, so I still would love to do a Broadway show. Um,
Oh,
it's like never got back to the first thing I went to New York to do because of life. And I think outside of that and continuing to do more television and theater productions, yeah, I feel like I'm hitting a lot of my to-do list of what I want to accomplish, and then getting back to doing another album for sure, for sure.
oh, well, we are here for it, definitely.
Thank you for that. So
Yeah. So, well, that's awesome. And as a host, you got to interview a lot of artists. Any
stand
fun
up.
experiences?
Oh my gosh, so many fun experiences. I'm trying to think of some of my favorites. Um, Nicole Scherzinger when it was Pussycat Dolls and they were on. That was so fun because they let me dance with them and get up and sing with them. And that was a really cool experience. We had Mariah Carey on, Rihanna when she was a baby, Fall Out Boy, Good Charlotte. Oh, the Jonas Brothers. They were, and I'll never forget, they were on. And I was like, they're so energetic. They feel like almost, Broadway performance. I was like, I don't know that that's going to work. And they're like,
Uh,
no offense to all of them. They're brilliant. But I didn't know at first, but yeah, I interviewed them. And who else? Gosh, Nelly Furtado.
oh, I love her.
I'm trying to think of also, yeah, people of your passion, of your era. Um, who else was on at that time? Natasha Bedingfield, she was on several times. Her brother Daniel was on too. T-Pain, T.I. Who else? Oh, literally,
You,
we had every week, and it was for over a year, 4 to 6 artists every single week. So some I'd interview, some I'd just introduce. Oh, Kelly Clarkson, I interviewed, and she was on. Ashley Simpson, as I'd said. Um, Oh my gosh. So many, so many. And then from that, I did other shows and I got to interview like Sting and Billy Joel and uh,
wow,
yeah.
legends.
Yeah. And now I do a lot of moderating for live events with like Omega Watches. I've been able to interview Cindy Crawford and Kathy Sullivan, who's an astronaut who's gone to space and, incredible people out of the music industry. But
Wow.
back to the music industry. Yeah, just really, I'm trying to think who else was on that show that really, Snoop Dogg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Christina Milian. I did like a whole big behind the scenes package with her. That was fun. Shooting her video. Yeah, it
Well,
was.
you met a lot of artists.
I did. And it was really cool being an artist coming from the artist perspective, because it was nice to really talk about what it is like to be in the studio or to write the songs. Like it was really great to meet them on the level of having done what they did on a smaller level, but still, to have the recording experience and the touring and traveling experience and be able to have that comparison with them to talk about it and really relate with them for the audience.
Yeah.
So
Well, as a host, that's your experience. As an actress, you got to work in several shows, TV shows.
yes,
Uh,
my favorite were probably How I Met Your Mother and House MD, just
uh,
guest starring roles. But I got Hugh Laurie. I was a pretend corpse in one of the scenes, and Hugh Laurie had to straddle me and give me fake CPR, which was a dream. And then I also got to sing. You put the lime in the coconut, you drink them both up
uh,
in house.
uh,
And then on How I Met Your Mother, Neil Patrick Harris is already one of my best friends in the world. His husband and I have go way back, like pre-Bextasy days.
Wow.
And yes, they've been along the ride with me the whole way. And so I got to do that with him, which is cool to work with your friends. And also Kyle McLaughlin was the other guest star of that episode.
Oh, from Desperate Housewives. Yes, I remember
Yes,
him.
yes, yes. So that was cool.
Oh. Hmm.
So I actually just got back being with Neil and David doing this murder mystery event for Capital One in the Florida Keys. So we still get to do fun gigs together.
Well, those are your experiences as an actress, and now as a producer. What are your favorite shows that you have produced?
Yes. Well, I would say, for television, I produced weirdly because my husband is massively, he's British, so he's massively into what you would call football, soccer. Um,
Yes.
and he and I co produced a show called My Beautiful Game, which is all about football, soccer. And I got to interview incredible people like David Beckham and
Wow.
a whole slew of other pro football stars. And then in my theater production world, I would say, gosh, we've had so many shows now. I think we've done like over 30 productions. But I would say twofold. Doing the Ariana Grande Snow White was pretty magical at the time and in hindsight because she is so hardworking. She's so talented. She just showed up. And you meet people like that, and she was already a TV star, but she wasn't Ariana Grande yet. But you
Yeah.
meet people, and when they do break, you're like, yeah, that makes sense because got the chops and she's got the attitude of, hard work and being a good
Yes.
person. And same with Sabrina Carpenter. And I can say this about a lot of other artists that were in our shows, but those two, because they have broke so massive, the Peter Pan that she did, which was also with a lot of her other stars from Girl Meets World. Um,
Uh-huh.
that was pretty special too. So I'd say those that era, which were back to back, those were really special. And then the one we're doing now, which is a new version of an old movie called To Sir with Love,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be starring, the last incarnation had Wayne Brady in it, and I can neither confirm nor deny if he's doing it again. Of doing other things. But that's been special journey. And we just announced that Lulu, who is before our time, but she did the original song To Sir with Love. She's going to be starring as one of the teachers in this new incarnation we're going to be doing in London in the fall. So that's exciting too.
Wow. Wow, Becky, your career is impressive.
Oh,
Congratulations on all the things you have achieved so far.
thank you. Thank
And
you.
all that's to come. Best wishes to you.
Thank you. I hope to be giving more music and more performances and hopefully getting back to those roots a bit more.
I'm pretty sure you will, and we'll be here for it. I'm as your fan, will be there.
Thank
That
you.
that's a promise.
Thank
We have
you.
a comment here from Francesca from Arkansas. She says, Becky looks amazing. I am so happy you have her on this show today. Getaway is my favorite song too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's my favorite song as well. And thank you for tuning in today.
Yes, thank you, Francesca.
Thanks,
And
Francesca.
well, the questions I always ask to my guests, just to know a little bit more about their taste in music, is who is your favorite female singer?
Oof. I knew you were going to ask this. And I was like, I need to think because I have so many.
You
I
watch my
literally,
interviews?
yes, I did. I have. And I was like, I know she's going to ask me. I got to narrow it down. So tough for me because I have like what I grew up on that I love, which are my Bette Midlers and my Barbara Streisands and my Donna Summers and my Shirley Bassies, and they're all big, fabulous divas.
Yes.
And then sort of what I grew into love and appreciate. Um, yes. So favorite all time female singer. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I feel like I would have to go with, I think I'm going to have to go with Donna Summer. I think I'm going
Okay.
to go with Donna Summer because her vibe just really, really connects with me. And she was such an inspiration of how I started doing like the disco dance music. So
Yes.
I'm going to go with her.
Okay. Queen Donna Summer.
Queen Donna Summer.
Okay. And your favorite male singer?
Favorite male singer, I'm going to have to go with, oh, love to love you, baby. Um, Favorite male singer, oof. I mean, I love Sting. I think he's pretty phenomenal. Um,
Uh-huh.
I think I might have to go with a classic, which is maybe going to kill my listeners, but like Frank Sinatra. Like I love that man, and I just the way he speaks his words when he sings and his commitment to his performance as a vocalist, I would go him. But you know what? Close, like right on the heels, is like Prince, because Prince for me was always I put those albums on and just live.
Okay.
Okay. So gosh, I guess I have to pick one. I'm like Frank Sinatra, Sting, Prince, um, Sugar. I'm gonna, and there's also Stevie Wonder, who I love so much too, and Billy
Yes.
Joel. I'm like, I love so many of the men. Um, I think I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with Prince actually, out of all those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prince. Any girl group that you like?
Oh yeah, the Pussycat Dolls for sure, 100%.
Oh, great. Great. Very 2000s.
Yeah.
Um, boy band?
Oh, in sync, 100%.
Oh, okay. That was easy.
Yeah, I love them. My friend, my old musical director played keys for them. He's now consequently Taylor Swift's musical director, but he played keys for them back in the day in the early 2000s. And, their shows, they were the real deal. They were the real
Oh,
deal.
yeah. I love them too. I
Yeah.
think they're my favorite too.
Me
Oh,
too.
my God.
Me
And
too.
now, my final question. If you're
Yes.
going to be alone in an island and you can only carry 5 albums with you, which albums would you take?
Oh my
I know.
God.
I know it's
Okay.
hard.
Okay. 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 Well, I'm going to take Ecstasy. I have
Yes.
to take my own album just to,
Okay. Uh-huh.
where I'm down. Um, oh boy. Oh my gosh, Marielle. Well, I'm obviously gonna have to take, but I need to look up the names of the albums because like I don't know what the full album would be called. Um, I'm gonna what was Donna Summer's? Because I have to take a Donna Summer. Purple Rain is an album of Prince's, right? So I'm taking
Yes.
Purple Rain. Um, and then I'm gonna take top albums. Uh, uh, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take a look. I'm looking it up. Hold on. What was the name of? I
Yeah.
know the picture and the cover. It was this one. What was? Hold on. I see the cover. I'm looking at the cover. Bad Girls. It's Bad Girls.
Oh, it's a great album. Yes.
So I'm taking Bad Girls, Purple Rain, Ecstasy. I think I'm gonna take Stevie Wonder songs in the key of life.
Yeah, that's a great album too.
And then I think poor Frank and all the other people I was talking about are staying away because I can remember their songs in my head. I think I actually would either take a Beatles album or an ABBA album. I'm trying to think what would sort of maybe an ABBA album. I think that would
It's
cheer me up.
it's more you.
And it's more like on the island. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you exactly which album. ABBA top. I do like the Bee Gees too, but ABBA top albums. Um, I'm going with oh, what's happening there? Arrival Super Trooper. Which one is that one? Best ever. I think they're. What's the one where they've got the picture of them on the cover?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't Dancing Queen?
It might be Dancing Queen. Hold on. Images. I want everyone to know the right title. Oh, it's this one. What is this one? It's that one. What's that one? Because
It says something, but I don't read.
that was
Like,
the one that I used to play at my parents' house growing up.
uh,
Um, it says compilation album by ABBA, the definitive collection.
well, it's a greatest hits album, so
I'm
it's
taking that one.
okay. Okay, perfect. Well, it wasn't that hard for you because other of my guests are like, "No, why are you doing this to me?" And they take so long to answer.
I mean, there's so many subsequently because I would still also go out of our early 2000s and I'd probably grab some Lady Gaga or somebody else and throw it in there. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with those ones.
Those five. Okay.
They're staples.
Well, Becky, I cannot thank you enough for being here on my show today and to talking about your amazing career. I mean, it's been a pleasure. What an honor. Thank you so much. Really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll send me your address. I'm sending you the album and I'll stay in touch with new music or a video.
Yes, please. And people follow please Becky on her Instagram. It's Becky B. What's your
It's Becky B. Lithgow, which I should
Lithgow?
probably change it to
Yes,
Becky Baeling Lithgow so people can find me. But it's my last name with my husband, but it's Becky B. Lithgow at
Lithgow. Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can follow her and stay tuned on what she's doing right now. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. And for those watching later, those who couldn't be live, thank you so much for watching too. It's been a pleasure having Becky here, and we I cannot wait to see you again, Becky.
Thanks, Marielle.
Big kisses to you, everybody, and best wishes, Becky.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.